Okay, I'm gonna do a quick video. A couple things here. I'm gonna start painting this, and I started to tape off sections. I'm gonna do this section first, and if this is the same as that, then you might as well do them both at the same time. It's gonna save you time. First thing I'm gonna do is, first thing I did do is I taped off the entire line here. You can also do this end if you want to. I'm just not painting there right now, so I'm gonna not take care of that yet. And I taped off this line here. And again, I can't stress enough, make sure you show the pencil line that is being taped off. And you use that as a guide to put the tape down. And when you paint on top of it, that pencil line will be covered. The next thing you do is tape off the whole section that you're going to paint. Because what you're going to do, I'm going to paint these two first. This is a number 1 and a number 1. But the first thing I'm going to do is, I think it's number 1 red. And I believe this is red, green, red, green, red. I believe that's what I did. I'm not sure. I'll have to double check it on my design. But you're going to write the numbers 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, or whatever kind of color mapping that you created. And then you're going to mask the whole area. And the reason I stopped here is because I wanted to show a trick. So I'm just going to map this area out. Before I do that, or tape this area out, this is a little trick. You can put the sharp blade of your X-Acto knife right on the line, and then you can just kind of rip right up. And it rips it right on the corner. It's easy to do angles that are not smaller than 40 or a 90. You know, if they're like more than 90, then it's easy to tape those. But the ones that are crossing over and you have to cut the tape off, that's the trick. And it's so much faster if you do that. And I'm just going to lay this down, showing the pencil line, and then right again, because put it right on that corner, grab this up, rip it off, and you have a nice clean edge. You can also just like score it really lightly. Since you're using an illustration board, this is not, you don't want to cut through the paper, but if you score it real lightly, you can peel it off that way too. That's probably even easier. Now, I'm going to run over my computer. I just got to double check what I did, green or red. I forgot to put that down. Give me 1 second. I don't know if you can see this, but I just have to double check something. Okay, so I think I have 1, 2, 3. It's green. Green 1. That's how I have it. 1, 2, 3. So that's green. All right. I just do not want to screw this up. 1, 2, 3. Green. So this is green. This is red, and I'm using a really light pencil here. This is a H or 2H or 4H because you're gonna paint on top of this. You don't want the numbers and the letters to come through. Green, red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green. Once you paint one down, you kind of get the idea down. 1, 2, 3. So this is green, and that means this is red. Okay. And then on this side, because I'm going to paint this at the same time, so I'll probably paint my 4 greens at the same time. I'll start off with that, and then I'll do my reds after that. So it's 1, 2, 3. So it's 1, 2, 3. So this is a 1, and this is a green. That means that this is 1, 2, 3, 4. This is a 1, and this is a red. 1, 2, 3. This is a 1, 1. This is a green. And this is a red. After that, it's pretty simple. It's 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3. Oops. 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3. A little trick, what I don't have right now is a kneaded eraser. If you get a kneaded eraser, you can just like lighten these lines. That way you can still see them, and and they're light enough where they won't shine through. I'm just kind of trying to lighten it a little bit. Next move, what I say, green 1, that's what I'm going to do first. So all I have to do is tape off the left and the right side. Helps if I use the straight edge. And again, I ripped the tape in half so I can get twice the mileage out of my tape. Green 1, green 1. Okay. If your tape is thin, in terms of like a 1, I think this is a 2-inch width, so it's easier to rip in half. If it's a 1-inch width, you might as well just not rip it and just use it. If you have to buy another roll, then order it now so it gets here in time. And when you're doing this, just really pay attention so you don't screw up, because you don't want to go back and repaint something. It's a pain, especially if it's a darker color or a different hue. It's fine, you might have to paint it twice. That's fine. See where this overlaps to green 1? I'm just gonna try to get that up. Here's another little trick. I use my fingernail and I'll rip it down. I'll just rip a sliver off because I know I'm gonna tape that one thing out. And I just cross my fingers my baby doesn't start crying because he's on the verge of waking up. There he is. All right, I think I can do this and make the video. So this is green 1. I have all my paint ready to go, labeled. My brush is ready to go, dry, yep. And I'm just gonna go to town. Also, if there's any like erase pieces in there, make sure you get that out. Don't forget to just burnish the edges real fast with your finger. Just flatten them down and then work fast. I always try to work it in the corners. You can kind of see I'm like jamming it in, and then after I know it's covering the whole area, I will just pull it in the direction, the length of the strip itself, and then move to the next one. Do not go back and repaint in that because it's starting to dry and it will drag and create a texture that you don't want. Acrylic paint dries super fast. Remember, I don't have a lot of ones here, it's just a few. I probably have half of this paint mixture left over when I'm done. You'd be surprised on how far you can take these. All right, that's done. And when I peel this tape off, it's not going to be that exciting because it's really close in value to the white. But once I finish this section, I'll make another video. Notice I'm pulling in this direction, and then I kind of pull up a little bit, and then I pull in this direction. The reason being is I don't want to pull all the paint and then let it build up right around the edge of the tape, because it'll just build up and you peel it off and it gets kind of chunky there. So with practice, you're going to start to notice things like that happen. And I'm putting the paint on relatively thick, not too thick because then it would be sloppy, but thick enough to where that number 1 does not shine through or bleed through. That's about good, nice and flat. I don't want to risk it anymore. I think that's good to go. And to be honest, I'll have a lot of this left over. You might even be able to use some of these for your collages in our next project. Always clean your brush first. You need to get a lot of mileage out of this brush. And squeeze the water out. And then you can gently peel this up. Oops. Oh, that's fine. And then you're basically just going to make yourself a little crap, pile of tape. Just keep it away from your design so it doesn't contaminate it. You kind of see what I'm doing here. I'm trying to get my fingernail and get a little piece here. I don't want to rip this up at the same time. I'm just trying to. It takes a little practice, but once you do it a few times, you'll make sense. And reminder, I've said this in other videos. See how I'm pulling on a 45-degree angle or a 90-degree angle from the line itself. That somewhat ensures it won't rip the paper that you're peeling from. And again, if you do rip it, what you do, you get this gel matte medium, you grab a little, grab your brush, dip it in there, put it on top of the rip, it seals it, and then you can tape over it again. So I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'm gonna start to put my red ones on, and so forth and so on. So this should take me a little bit of time, and I'll make another video at that point.